Hello everyone, I'm Mike Arce. Welcome back to another episode of the GSD show. And today we're going to talk about how this fitness studio that I'm interviewing has actually sold over $30,000 in retail sales in their fitness studio during probably the most challenging time in fitness history.
If you own a gym or you need a gym, this is your guy.
Hi, I'm Mike Arce, and I've spent most of my career in the fitness industry and helping those in it succeed. And after helping over 2,000 studios and 50 different franchises within the industry, I've learned a lot about what it takes to be successful. Here, I'll teach your studio how to advertise, how to sell, retain more members, increase profits, and become an overall better business owner in the space. And I share it all with you here. Welcome to the GSD show. All right, guys, I am here with Michelle and Hye Jin from Hot Room, the Hot Room, not just Hot Room, the Hot Room Yoga. And you guys are in Indianapolis. I've actually taken your yoga classes, even though I'm not in Indianapolis, because you guys have a fantastic online option. And you even sent me a yoga mat, which is great. So guys, welcome to the GSD show. Thanks for coming on and sharing a lot of what's been happening for you guys.
Thanks so much, Mike, for having us.
Absolutely. Okay, Michelle, welcome.
Thanks, Mike.
All right, so guys, we're going to be talking with them because I got to know what they're doing, because what they're doing is not what normal studios are doing right now. Normal studios are struggling to find out how to make a few pennies, and you're finding quite a bit of pennies. So now at your studios, you said you're selling about $30,000 a month. Is that total during this pandemic, or is that per month, or during a stretch of time? What time frame is that in?
That was actually just this previous month. So 1 month total sales from our boutique or retail.
Okay, just 1 month. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's amazing. And how many studios are making those sales?
Yeah, really it was primarily from 2 studios. So
Okay.
We have 2 studios in Indianapolis, and the Chicago, just outside of Chicago, was just getting started to open. So we had a little bit coming from that studio, but primarily from 2 studios in Indianapolis.
Would you say it's about 15,000 each, or would you say it's like 20-10, 25-5? What's like the ratio breakdown for those 2?
Yeah, Michelle, you want to comment on that?
Yeah, I would say that the majority comes from, or the downtown studio does about 25% less than the uptown studios. Sometimes they're even, but throughout the year, the studio that was our main studio has predominantly led in retail.
Okay. Now, were you guys selling that much pre-pandemic, or did you guys turn up the heat on it because of the pandemic, or is it less than what you were doing during the pandemic?
We actually were selling more during previous the pandemic. So we were having a fabulous Q1. We were running substantially above LY, and unfortunately that pandemic hit us like everyone else. So then we started to just create as much energy, GSD, to continue the momentum of what we had in Q1. Is that about right, Hye Jin?
Absolutely. Yeah, we were doing more pre-COVID, and as we went into these challenging times, we had to regroup and stay focused on how we can continue to keep this a very strong source of revenue as we reopened our studios. And I would say our retail team did a phenomenal job doing that.
So
I can add to that, Mike, that 2019 was a great year for us. We had about a 30% increase over 2018, and we were continuing that in Q1 for 2020. So we had grandiose plans for 2020, and unfortunately, we had to think differently.
That's well, you did it. Okay, so what was the mindset going in? You guys were obviously saying, okay, obviously we're going to need to find revenue, we're going to need to find profits somehow. We've got retail. So what was the strategy? What are some things that you did that you knew were different, whether it came to scripts or how you approached it? What are some things that you did differently during this time?
I think the number one thing that our team did that really drove those sales was stay focused on our bread and butter, which is our yoga sales. If we didn't have our members coming back into our studios, and we wouldn't have had that traffic to actually buy the products, right? So having our team do an amazing job, our sales team and our studio managers, in getting our members to come back into our studios on day one. Every class had wait lists. People were so eager to get back into the studio, and so happy to be back and also see the space totally look brand new, because the retail team did such an amazing job leading up to reopening the studios, of re-merchandise everything. Everything looked brand new. Like, you stepped into the studios and you're like, whoa. And that, not only getting them onto their mat, then they were also like eager to buy all the new things that they were seeing. It looked phenomenal in the studios, the merchandising part of it. But I want to reiterate, as a studio owner, you can't, the number one way to drive your retail sales is drive your membership sales first.
Okay, I want to talk about the driving the membership sales, because I know you guys put a lot of energy into that. I want to talk about you said it looked beautiful, it was amazing. So who was the person in charge of the design and the layout of how that retail looked?
Yeah, that would be Michelle.
Okay, Michelle, so what are some things that you did that made it so beautiful, so appealing, and so good at selling? What did you do? What are some what's your mindset when you're building that out?
Sure. Well, there's a handful of different avenues that you would go to. First, I had the support of Michelle and Hye Jin, that they repainted the whole studios and they made it pristine. So I had a very clean slate to work with. So they updated the painting. Everything was literally pristine. So I had this clean slate to then land new merchandise. One thing, Mike, that I wanted to say, that behind the scenes that happened when the studios were shut down, I immediately started canceling orders. So I immediately started canceling all of the on orders that we had that were coming in for a time frame that I knew that we were going to be closed. Because if we were getting in the beginning of spring merchandise, then it would be too old. So I canceled orders, brought in the newest seasonal delivery. When it landed, it just was dynamic on the floor, because I assorted in color blocking. So everything that is presented on the floor is done extremely aesthetically and with much dedication and deliberation and design. So if I have a yoga top and bottom, then we have a lifestyle outfit that also coordinates with it. So it all reads together and it's very impactful.
Now, you mentioned you focus on membership sales, and obviously the more members you have, the more retail you can sell. That just mathematically makes sense, right? Because you have more opportunities.
Right.
But let's talk about if let's say I were to sign up with you, at what point are you selling me retail? Or is it in the prospect phase? Is it in the new member phase? Is it later on after their first class? Like, at what point, when are you getting me?
That's a great question. We focused, as a new client comes in their first month, we give them different special discounts as they get started with us, so that they are getting started with the best quality gear that is meant for hot yoga practice. A lot of people come in and it's like a $5 cheapo Target mat or a 5 and below mat, and that's fine, but when they come in, we also talk to them about the benefits and how your practice changes and how it's better on your joints when you upgrade to a better mat. It's also even safer for you, right? Because a lot of the newer quality mats don't soak up all your sweat, right? So there's a lot of education around the gear that is going to support a more elevated practice, a more elevated experience in our studios. But honestly, a lot of those conversations come even before they come into our studio, because before they step in, they're asking questions to us, right? And what should I bring? What should I wear? And all that stuff. And we're like, oh, don't worry about a thing. Don't go out and stress yourself out by buying all that stuff. Just come in and we will give you like one-on-one shopping help. We'll help with that one-on-one and make sure that you get the best quality yoga wear that's meant for hot yoga, and also gear. So a lot of that conversations happens before they come in, but we also do a lot of work with promotions during that first month too.
So you kind of play like the Nordstrom game, where you're going to be their personal shopping assistant and help them.
Oh, absolutely.
Wow. That's pretty cool. Okay, great. So what types of things are you selling? Like, what are all the things you can sell me, just in categories? So like tops, bottoms, mats, what else are you selling?
So basically all gear. And we bring in Manduka, which we believe is the top of the line. So we have all gear available. We sell all clothing, men's apparel, clothing as in yoga wear. We also have different categories that would be more lifestyle, layering pieces. We have athleisure wear, where you're coming and going, and we have the perfect jacket to slip on, or sweatshirt or whatever. So we have been very fortunate that we have grown from a very small baby steps to the entire wardrobe. Like, for example, I feel like we need to inspire our clients to buy, but to also improve about themselves.
Yeah.
To have them feel more comfortable in a shopping environment. And I believe that we cover all of that. Our mantra is positive, welcoming, and in service to others. And we take that to the retail side of the organization. And it's just not, hey, Jen or myself that are there that are selling. It's everybody has that service to others, and that includes retail.
That's awesome. One of the things that I don't think enough fitness studios and gyms really pay attention to, I don't care if you're yoga, if you're HIIT, if you're Pilates, if you're kickboxing, it doesn't really matter. When someone makes a decision to join a new fitness studio or a gym, that's not just a membership purchase in most cases. They are going to buy a bunch of stuff. This is just the main thing. It's like, okay, I need a burger. I'm not going to go to McDonald's and just get fries and a drink. That's weird. No one, I don't know anyone that just goes to a burger place and just orders fries and a drink. I'm sure it happens, but it's rare. You get the burger, and then this is the supporting cast. But when somebody goes to a fitness studio and gets a gym membership, think about anybody. You've probably done it, right? You're like, okay, cool, I'm doing this. I'm going to start hiking now. I need new boots. I need new canteen, something to hold my water, supplements. Like I'm going to go all out working out now. So I'm going to make sure that I'm eating right. I'm going to eat organic. I'm going to get pre-workout. I'm going to get post-workout. I'm going to take my vitamins. I'm going to do everything, right? Because somebody, when they finally make that decision that they're going to do this, they want to do it all the way. And it's kind of like an addictive thing. They want to buy all the things. Like you get the iPad, you want the pencil, you want a keyboard, you want all the stuff that comes with it. When you get a new car, you're like, okay, maybe I should get, the seat cleaner, maybe I should get this, maybe I should get that. You just want the supporting thing to make the first thing better. So you guys really understood that. You have goals set up for when a new member joins, how much you want to sell that member, or do you have goals based on a monthly basis or a weekly basis when it comes to retail sales?
Absolutely. We have retail goals in alignment with our inventory level. Yes, we have goals per studio. We have goals with our deliveries. We are very much in line, calculated.
Yeah.
Nothing is by chance.
And those goals are translated to the studio managers as part of their goals. Retail is part of that, including membership goals. And when we do different campaigns or promotions, for example, this last one that we did was all about upgrading your yoga gear. And there were daily and weekly goals that the studio managers were transferring onto their front desk teams, right? Could we sell one yoga mat? Make it really tangible, right? And that all those little things add up to a really big month.
Now, like, was 30,000? Was that goal, above goal, below goal, like for you guys?
Well, it was below last year, unfortunately, because of our new plan. However, it was above the actual this year plan. I always try to surpass last year by a certain percent. So we didn't surpass last year's actual sales, but we actually did better than, knock on wood, we actually did better than what the plan was.
Now, I got a question that came in. The question that I've got here is, do you have apparel for members who attend a certain amount of classes? For example, 100 class shirt club.
That's a great question. We do have different apparel and products that we use to celebrate those milestones. We don't have 100 class shirt club, but we do little things like if you do 30 classes in 30 days, right? You're a part of a special club and you get a t-shirt. So we try to, when we're celebrating milestones, align it with different products in our studio that they continue to wear around and represent as they celebrate that big milestone. So for example, maybe it's I don't know if you see my hat, but maybe it's like a Hot Room branded hat that they get.
Right. I love it. I love it. And just so you know, somebody just commented saying 30K. Wow. Amazing. That's actually Christine from Pop Fit Studio. She's a member in the Loud Rumor members only group. So yes, very, very cool. Yes, Michelle, you got something too.
So Mike, I just want you to know, tell that person I just wrote that down, that 100 class shirt.
Yes.
I think that's what our breakouts, 100 Hye Jin, 250 and 500, is that?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. We even had someone hit, we have signs that celebrate all that, but we even had an individual who hit just 1,000 this week, right? And so that's a great idea.
I wrote it down.
Which products would you say are your favorite to sell because they either A, have the best margin, or B, have the best repeat sales, or C, bring the most joy and most use? What's like your top 1 and 2 product that you're like, I love selling these?
I think foremost would be gear. I think number one, Hye Jin had touched upon it already about the foundation of staying true to what we are. We are a yoga studio first and foremost. And so I believe in the brand that we sell, and I know when people use that mat, they love it. And then we start building on accessories, if it's a towel for that mat and so forth. That's number one. Even though I'm all about margin, it's not the best margin. It's still a good margin, but it's not the best.
So when you say gear to you guys is all the stuff you would need for the actual class, like the yoga mat, the block, that kind of stuff, right? So not like hats, shirts, pants, that wouldn't be considered gear. Right. Okay, what about like water bottles or thermos, like anything like that? Would that be considered gear?
Yes.
Yeah.
That is considered.
That's really cool. Is all the stuff branded, or is it that brand that you said you guys like?
Though our water bottles and some of our towels and such as the accessories, that's only branded, and we only carry our branded merchandise in that accessory area.
When did you guys, where did you guys learn how to sell like retail like this? Because the average fitness studio is not selling retail like this. So, you know, what books did you read? What conference did you go to? What podcasts did you listen to? Who did you talk to? What drug are you taking? What is it that you guys are doing to make all these sales?
Well, first of all, Michelle has years and years of retail sales and merchandising experience, and so she's a wealth of knowledge. But really, what translates over to the staff, honestly, is getting them to wear the product and use the product, and they have their own experience where they can really passionately share about it. Because when you feel good in your outfit, and you feel not only good when you're practicing, but you feel good and more confident in your own body when you're wearing this kind of outfit, you transfer that to others who are maybe browsing and looking, right? It just is a natural conversation that happens. But then there's also little sales, I don't know if you want to call them one-liners, or just that we do teach to our staff, right?
Oh, I want some of those
to invite
right now.
them in.
I want some of those right now. I want one-liners, and then we got a question after that. But yeah, let's hear some of the one-liners. What are some of them?
Well, I think the first thing is if someone is buying, for example, a bottom, they have come up to and they're looking at the bottom, they have it off the hanger and they're looking to purchase it. We always recommend buying an outfit. So did you see the matching top to that bottom. It looks phenomenal together as an outfit. That's a very easy thing to say, and a lot of people don't put two and two together. I know Michelle has a lot more, but that is the easiest way to sell more than one item. And that's the mentality, like, how do you increase the purchase just one more item?
Yeah, Michelle, what are some that you got? What are some? I feel like you got more one-liners than guys at a bar. What do you got?
What? So he buys my drink. That's all I care about. I would say that you don't talk to the client and put pressure on them. You talk to the item that they're looking at. So often they walk in and they're looking at, let's say, a legging. You speak directly to that legging. Oh, what you're looking at is the Aloe Airlift legging. It does blah, blah, blah. It's a second skin. It has great feel wicking. Speak to that, and you will be surprised how the education of that product immediately makes them feel attached to that product.
So walk me through it. Give me an example. Just role play. Imagine I'm a role play type of guy. Hey Jin knows it. Hey Jin knows I'm a role play guy. So
say, hey Mike.
Yeah.
We received some new shorts today. Have you seen our new shorts that have the special lining inside with the wicking? I would immediately make a comment to you. It's in the back, and they'll say, go, where, Michelle? And I'll start walking back there, and then I'll speak to the product.
Okay.
Not like, you need this, Mike, but I'm speaking to the product. Do you have a pair of shorts that does A, Y, and, like that, X, Y, and Z? So, and everybody has their own style in their selling approach, but it's very genuine. It's very sincere. And
give me an example of what X, Y, and Z would be. So let's say
I would say simply that often on the ticket, it says that, like, for example, this fabric has special powers. It's a, four-way stretch. So when you're in your pose, it doesn't ride up. It's extremely comfortable because it has the special wicking technology. It also has a new waistband that they just have created that has a special trim inside that's soft against your body. You're just speaking to the features and the benefits of that product.
That's what I wanted to say. So one thing that Michelle does very well, for everyone that didn't catch what she didn't do the mistake that a lot of people make when they sell anything, which is talking about the features. When you just talk about the features, people aren't as enamored with your features as you are. So a lot of times people are talking about, oh yeah, it's got this elastic waistband, and then it's got this special lining, and it's got all this, and it's got all that, and its fabric is amazing. When you just do that, no one cares. They don't care until you say, so that benefit. It's got this special lining so that when you're in your pose, you feel more comfortable, you can get that deeper stretch. And also it has this waistband so that when you're actually doing this, you'll notice X, Y, and Z. You'll feel more comfortable, you'll get a better workout. That is the biggest part that a lot of people miss. Features are worthless. They're worthless unless you attach it to a benefit. Right. And you can actually sell benefits without even bringing up the feature, but if it's a cool feature that brings more, like a more tangible thing to the benefit, then it's good to bring it up. But Michelle, you did really good on that. Good job. I like that. I was hoping to correct you, but you did right. You sold features and benefits. Okay, cool.
I think you mentioned, Mike, is that all of a sudden you create an emotional connection with how they're going to relate by buying that item. Hey, Jen, what were you going to add? You were going to add something about what we do.
Oh, I was just saying, a lot of our gear, also when we're purchasing it, we have that in mind, right? This is going to make our clients feel better because we have a unique environment, right? It is 105 degrees with 40% humidity. No, we're not going to buy that certain kind of legging, even though it's a popular legging. It's just not going to feel good on our clients' bodies when they're doing our form of workout.
So, it's 105 degrees in your room. I'm in Phoenix. It was 116 the other day. All right, I got a question here from Christine. How do you balance having product but not too much inventory that just sits in your studio?
I can speak to that. It's so important that, one, you don't overbuy. You ask, like, how do we know all this? I was a sales rep for over 25 years, and prior to that, I was a buyer. So it's been my whole life. And my degree was in textiles and clothing, was a Bachelor of Science degree. So what they need to do is make sure they, one, don't overbuy. And probably most importantly, and I can't stress this to not enough, is to make sure that they're turning their product as fast as possible. I do remember some discussions I had with Hye Jin when I said, we need to mark this down. It's been on the floor 90 days. It's too old. It needs to get marked down. And she would be like, well, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. And now she's way on board. She'll come up to me and goes, don't we need to mark that down? The sooner you turn your dollar, the more you can bring in. And you just have to make sure you stay disciplined and that you are constantly being aware of how old your stock is and you turn it.
Do you ever buy just a small sample of things first before you commit to a larger order or multiple sizes? I don't know. Honestly, I'm not a retail guy. That's not my expertise. I call you guys. But my gut tells me, and my gut could be wrong, that I go, okay, the most popular sold sizes are these few sizes. I'm just gonna get a couple samples in these sizes and then just see if they sell really fast and really well. And if they do, then I'll order a few more in multiple sizes and then I'll go from there. Am I right on that, or do you guys have a better strategy? And if so, teach me.
What has been most successful for us is very small capsules, small vignettes from different vendors that we turn over. We seldom go very deep in an assortment. We're more wide and shallow in our assortment structure. We may have a deeper offering if it's a t-shirt that has our logo on it, where we would bring in 24 of those, or the caps or something like that. Of course, water bottles. But when we're talking apparel, for the most part, we have a very quick turn because people want to buy and they want to buy often. Mm-hmm. They want to see new things when they come into the studio, because remember, your customer base is basically the repeat of the same people coming in. And I'm sure Hye Jin can speak to that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and by going tighter and smaller with those capsules, it creates a sense of urgency of buying now, because literally I know a shipment has arrived, but I will have never seen it on our floor because it goes that quickly. Once it hits, everyone's like, got it, and then the sizes are out, and I'm like, I didn't even get a chance to buy it. So it's also, it creates that sense of urgency of when you see it, get it now, because it could be literally gone in a couple hours.
That's awesome. You guys have such a good system. Do you ever use anything like text or email or any other strategies in order to get things out to members that maybe aren't coming into the studio, or just to get them at bulk spots?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Even with our yoga gear sale, with a lot of our clients coming back into the studio after a hiatus for a little bit, it was just bulk text messages to every client that was coming into class. We can't wait to see you in class. Feel free to come in a little bit before and after class and make sure you upgrade your mat for these reasons. And we talk about the features and benefits, but send them a quick text, maybe a short little video text of, hey, look at all the new colors of mats that we just got in. We can't wait to see you in class. Feel free to shop before and after.
I love it. Now with the vendors that you buy from, how do you have good confidence in the product that you're choosing? Do they have any type of rating system like Yelp, where it's like I know I'm going to this restaurant because they got such a good rating and reviews? Do you guys ever do they offer anything like that, or do you guys just go off of your expertise and like, I know people are going to buy that and here's why?
Well, one thing I have learned to, during this time, trust certain brands and certain sales reps that represent the brand. I'm very, very selective, and It's also years of having an eye in the industry and knowing. If you're new buying, I would suggest going with brands that are well known.
What are some examples? What are some examples of brands that, like, if let's say someone's really wanting to get into this industry, what are some good quality, safe brands that you think would be good to align with?
Well, there's more to that question because, for example, do they feel that they can sell a higher end legging at $100? That's a question that takes a lot more analysis, and we really, my assistant and I, we really study and try to get a pricing structure that is from high to low. So everybody walking in the door can't afford a $100 aloe legging. But to answer your questions, the yoga lines that are very respectable would be ones like Nux and Aloe and K-Deer, Beyond Yoga, Glider. We have some Canadian lines, MPG, Lolay, and we, Spiritual Gangster. But when we put the assortment together, we're pulling bits and pieces from each one of them because our business is more established and everything fits like a puzzle. So when it's all landing together, this teal and gray story all works. And it lands, and like 60 days later, then we have a guava berry and navy landing.
I love it. I love it. Okay. Well, last thing before you head out, because we're short on time here. Hey, Jin, you mentioned, before we even work on all the other stuff, first things first, get more members, because if you get more members, you got more opportunities and more people to sell to. So what are some strategies that you've had in place in order to make sure that you got more people coming into your studio, whether it's for trials or for your virtual option or signing up for certain deals? Like what's your biggest few strategies to get more people in?
Staying in touch with them. They're never just MIA. We're constantly checking in on them. How are you doing? How are things going? They may feel differently from a month from now with their comfort level of coming back into the studio. Also sharing with them that if they're not ready to come in studio, there's so many other ways to stay connected with us, whether it be, like you said, virtual classes, on-demand classes, outdoor classes, or even, hey, we've got a sidewalk sale happening. We would just love, come by, come say hi, and so that we can they meet, they're family to us, right? And just because they don't feel comfortable coming into the studio doesn't mean we don't think about them. We think about them all the time. And so I think keeping in touch with them consistently is probably the biggest key in getting people back into our studios. I
love it. And are you keeping in touch with them mainly through phone calls, through text, through email, through a Facebook group? Facebook main pages, Instagram, what's the main one?
All of the above.
All of the above.
All of the above, all of the different outlets and channels. So for example, we even just sent out a little video. We were doing a really awesome outdoor class that we have, and people are in love with it. And so I just took a little selfie video of myself with the outdoor class happening behind me. And I just wanted to give them a glimpse of, hey, we're having a blast out here. If you're ready to join us outdoors, message me. We would love to get you hooked up with a class, right? And so creating a little bit of letting them know what they're missing out on, and that whatever they're looking for, their health and fitness is still a priority, right? Even if they don't feel coming into our studios right now is an option, there's so many other ways, and we care about them, and we're going to partner with them and fight for them, their health and their fitness, no matter what the environment looks like.
I love that. You guys are awesome. I've been such a fan of you guys for so long. And hey, Jin, once we get GSD Con going, I want you up there still. And and maybe you'd have to bring Michelle up too. I don't know how you guys do it, but you guys are just a good team. And so last thing, for anybody that's still on the fence of should I really push retail this much? Just in general, how much should a fitness studio owner expect their profit margins to be on retail for them to consider this a good arm in the business?
I would say about 35%.
35%. So if somebody was to sell,
we have certain products that will bring in 50 or more, but overall, if you're into turning that product quickly, that's what I would suggest.
So I mean, for you guys, if those ended up being your margins, right? You're talking an extra $10,000-$11,000 a month. I mean, that's an extra $130,000 a year. For anyone here that's wondering, like, how do we keep our business going during this challenging time? How do we make this work? I mean, I don't know how much $100,000 to $120,000 to help you every year, but I think that help a lot of studios right now in general. And so I think you guys have done a remarkable job before the pandemic, through the pandemic. And that's one of the things I think that's really incredible about what this crazy time has done. You know, there's a lot of people that, you know, and I hate saying this, but it's true. We got to keep it real on the show. There's a lot of people that when the economy's booming, it's like bowling with the bumpers on, and they didn't really treat their business like a business. But when the economy's so good, it's easy to get by. You're not successful necessarily if you're not a business owner. No booming economy is going to make you a millionaire, but it may help you survive and stay open and maybe make a few bucks here and there. But man, once something happens, a recession like this, the bumpers come down, and you either know how to bowl or you don't know how to bowl. And if you don't know how to bowl, you'll find yourself in the gutter, which right now, about 40% of fitness studios have found themselves there, as 40% of fitness studios in the country have closed down permanently. Now you guys, as well as the other percent, now keep in mind of the 60 that haven't, let's not assume all 60 are rocking and rolling right now. Half of those might be struggling too. But you guys are doing such a good job. I'm so proud of you, because you guys obviously know how to run your business. You obviously know how to invest in your business. You know how to care about it. You know how to build a great team of people. And that's put you in the position to be able to continue bowling, not getting in the gutter during this time. And you guys are leading the way, and you're creating inspiration for a lot of studio owners that could probably use it right now. So I think you guys are fantastic. Last comment that came in, thank you. We have overbought in the past. This has been so helpful. Another person said this was a great episode. Another person said love it. This makes so much sense. Somebody said retail sales queens. So you guys are inspiring. So thank you guys so much for being on the show. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having us, Mike.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, keep killing it, guys. We'll keep in touch. Hey, Jin, I'll text you. See you guys later. For everyone watching, everyone listening, thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.